Hey, it's Checkmate, and welcome back to Die in the Dungeon. But then, turn to, look at that! That is cool. This is a build created by Bug Dealer, also known as Insect, from the Die in the Dungeon Discord. It looked so powerful I had to try it myself, so I asked and they very kindly sent over their save file. I had been obsessed with the Unstoppable build and had spent hours of my life poring over a build that would dodge curses, so I hadn't given much thought to a build like this. It can technically be outscaled, but this build is powerful enough it will take you as far into Endless as you have patience for. We'll go through each aspect of the build, we'll go through the deck, we'll go through the relics, we'll talk about the curses, we'll actually play around with this deck too, just to see how it works. The first thing I'd like to do is take a look at this deck. The hand size is 10 out of 10. We don't have any more dice left in the draw pile, so we're guaranteed to get all the dice that we need. There is a honey die here from one of the curses that we'll talk about later, and there's enough double dip and draw that I'm pretty sure we can get all of the dice pretty much every time. So there's one double dip there. We'll count the ones without double dip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is not possible for us to draw without picking up at least one double dip, which means we're going to pull in all of the dice eventually. We also have quite a bit of energy here. We have 5 energy out of 4. 5 energy out of 4, which is great, which means we can place a lot of dice on the board. Of course, all of these are D4s or hollows, so ideally none of these actually take any energy. Take a look at these mixed dice. There is a splash attack and heal mixed die. This is amazing. And another one here, splash attack and heal. This is such a great combination. It's not just attack and heal, which by itself is really good, where you can deal out attack and heal up at the same time. This is splash attack, so we can attack all 3 of these enemies at once. We also have here a sticky boost, which is pretty amazing as well. I had my own experience with a sticky boost. It was a lot of fun. Not only does it apply the normal boost value of 3, it also applies the sticky boost value of 3, so really you have a boost die of 6. That is only 3 spaces away. That's pretty amazing. We also have a close boost block die. This is a lot of fun too. Not necessarily that we're going to be maximizing a lot with the boost, but it's just fun to have. Close boost is a really cool die. You'll notice a lot of these dice have heavy on them. That's very smart. We'll get to that in a second. We have not 1, not 2, we have 3 mirrors on here. So these have had their faces modified. This one can roll only 1s. This one in effect will only roll 1s. This one's gonna roll a 3. And it's been tuned, if this bee would get out of the way, it's been tuned to allow as much mirroring as possible. So when you place this one die on the board, it can mirror 4 spots instead of the traditional, when they're locked at rolling 4s only. Even the 3 is pretty good. Right here, it can actually mirror 3 different dice right there. The prism die, this will only roll 2s, and this is going to pair really well with, for example, this one right here, where we can mirror 1, and then we can actually use the prism to mirror single dice multiple times. Go ahead and organize these dice a little bit to look at. There we go. Look at that. So this deck is extremely optimized, and we're at floor 377, so we've already been through a lot of different floors, a lot of different rewards, but this deck has been save scummed. I'm actually cool with that. I'm very fine with that, in fact. If you want to build a super optimized deck and save scumming is about the only way you can get it, that's fine with me. In fact, this is even better than fine because Bug Dealer said up front, this was save scummed, so a lot of respect for that. So let's look at the relics. Now, first of all, I'd like to point out Equestrian Piece. This is the centerpiece of the build. It's the relic that holds everything together. In fact, it probably helps a little bit. So these dice that have the face value of 1, they're going to be the lowest value on the deck, and so they're going to get times 3 to their face value, which will be 1 times 3, which that's helping a little bit. It gives a small boost to our attack heal mixed dice. Check out Tadpole Jar. You can see this one came really early. This also explains why you'd have your other dice as 1s. As long as you have at least 3 or more dice with the face value of 1, all the dice on the board get times 2 extra value. That is to their final value. That's very powerful. This is one of my favorite relics. Don't tell, question piece. Fragment of reality. You're probably looking at all of these and then wondering, okay, all the mirrors that I've seen have had faulty on them. Well, once you get Fragment of Reality, which is legendary, this allows you to modify the faulty dice, which means you can modify them to remove the faulty property entirely, which is what's happened here. So you can put other more useful modifiers on it, but really it's the face value. That's what makes these mirror dice so strong. Fragment of Reality is insanely important, almost as much as Fake Dumbbell. All of the dice have the heavy property on them. That's actually quite calculated. So normally having a die that rolls 1 with heavy on it would be really dumb. But for this build, once you play this die with heavy, it's stuck there. It's not going to leave the board on the next turn. You're not going to have to roll it again and play it again, which is really important when you start getting into the curses like Thick Oxygen. You're going to want to be able to play dice on the earlier turns and not have to play them again because you need your energy. We also have Golden Fruit. We have Munchable Dopamine. These are really important for Endless because you need to scale your max HP. Also, you can't see because of amnesia, but these guys are hitting for thousands of damage. The goal here is to have as much health as possible just to try to increase the amount of how much damage you can take, how much block you can put out. Very important to have these two and early as possible too. There's Intertwined Souls, and this is actually really huge. Whenever you kill multiple enemies on the same turn, you will gain extra value on this relic. This relic is a way to scale your power floor after floor. Now it's only 1 per floor, but that's better than nothing. And because this is splash attack, right? More chances of killing multiple enemies because you're dealing damage to multiple enemies, but also this value is increasing your heal. We also have Grinding Leaf early on, which there's a curse here that is basically removing the benefit that Grinding Leaf has, but that's another meta growth type of relic, at least for the early endless floors, so you can kind of scale up before a curse takes that away. Now there's some good synergy here with the relics in the deck. We have Heroic Backpack, which increases the hand size and the draw size. That max hand size is actually incredibly important. This Extremist Aura, so whenever I was talking kind of crazy about like this one rolling only 2s, it's because of relics like Extremist Aura, like curses like Tormented Aura, that these dice will always roll the same value, even though there's actually higher values on there. Every little bit helps, right? So things like Rig Coin, things like Blindfold of Rage, there's actually, if you scroll over, like 1 million of these Crimson Blades, and these are pretty good. That's 4 extra value for every Crimson Blade. There's a few things like Energy Drink here that's really helpful, and then Survival Kit. I saw that just here a little while ago, Survival Kit. Things that will help us get extra energy is going to be really important as well to overcome curses. Chocolate Muffin is actually incredibly important here. So this is going to reduce to 0 all damage dealt and received on turn 1. That's actually extremely important for this at this point in Endless when you have all the curses that you do, because we need enough time to play dice on turn 1, and we need enough time to then play again on turn 2 so we can get all of our dice out so we can actually kill these before we take damage ourselves and get one shot. And then finally here, take a look at Reptilian Scales. This is a really good one as an alternative form of dealing damage, and we're going to be needing to max up our block anyway, so that way we can avoid getting absolutely destroyed. And then right next to it is Lazarus Heart, and this one's really important as well. Every time that you overheal, add the overheal amount to the relic, and then at the start of the turn, deal the damage to all enemies. This is an insanely powerful relic and really, really good for this setup. We have loads of heal. So on turn 1, we will receive no damage. We'll be able to build up our heal quite large. And then at the beginning of the next turn, deal that out all as damage at the very beginning of the turn. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the curses. The main form of balancing that the developers have put in here are the curses, and they are specifically made to take the really broken builds, like the stuff that we've tested out, the stuff that I've shown on my channel and other videos. It's meant to break the synergies there, break the ability to do like little exploits and stuff. We have Tormented Aura, and of all the curses, this one is one of the best ones to get. Dice can no longer roll their last face. We are, about consistency. So we've modified the dice faces to only roll specific values. And this just lets us roll out even another, this can't even roll 2s. That's great. That's wonderful. And the next one here, this one's old school glasses. Lock is now capped to your max HP. Very unfortunate because otherwise you could really carry with just reptilian scales as long as you can keep blocking at higher and higher value. And eventually you win like that, just kind of stalling your way through it. You have turning table, which is on even turns, multiply all slots with extra value by -1. This would just be -2, -1. But what it's really trying to do is break the terrain. There was a lot of terrain shenanigans. So on turn 1, you take advantage of Chocolate Muffin, take no damage, set up a massive terrain spot, and then next turn kill everything. This makes that not possible. However, we don't have a terrain die at all. We have Expired Honeycomb. On odd turns, add 1 honey d8 to your draw pile. That's what this guy's doing right here. We have a deck that has double dip on almost everything, but there's only 4 die that don't have double dip on them. So the draw thing's not a concern, and we have just enough dice, 9 normal dice, and then 1 space for always being able to draw in all the dice that we need every turn. This next one, Gastropod Shell. If you use a dice with the flash property, then end your turn. This is one of the many curses designed to break the quick draw and the infinite quick draw exploits. But if you look at our deck, no flash at all. What else do we have here? Debilitating Beverage. This one actually gets pretty rough. So at the start of your turn, lose an energy. Normally that's fine. These don't even cost energy. They're all hollow or they're all D4. But once you pick up Thick Oxygen and you have to use energy, this actually does get pretty debilitating. We have Malfunctioning Clock. This one's just more of a bummer. Takes all the cool stuff you got from Grinding Leaf and just throws it away. Amnesia. This one's a really odd curse, in my opinion, to put in endless mode, because Amnesia is enemy intent is now hidden. So I don't know if this guy's going to attack or block. It doesn't matter. I don't need to know what they're gonna do. Normal difficulty. What's his attack? Like 7? I don't even remember. But it's gonna be 7 plus 4,000. So it doesn't matter. It's gonna one-shot me, right? And if he doesn't, this guy is. It's not gonna be a big surprise. I just wanted to be impressed. Like, oh, I'm gonna be one-shot by all these guys. But now I just have to imagine. At this point, I know what I'm gonna play. They know what they're gonna do. It doesn't matter. Here we go, Liquid Patience. This one actually, which it doesn't matter because I'm not going to be drawing in any more dice anyway. Well, the ones that I consider more dangerous, they're just dangerous for a specific type of build that tries to exploit the game. Will there be a new curse introduced that does something to this, right? Mirror dice no longer work. I don't know, that wouldn't be very fun. Inverted Island. Dice on the board reduce their value to 0 if they have no other dice next to them. So we're not really going to run too much of a difficulty into this one because most of our dice are going to be touching a mirror die anyway. We have Death's Vow. Take 99 damage at the start of turn 9. This is another really weird one for endless mode because I'm assuming if by the time you get to turn 9, if you're still alive, 99 damage is going to be nothing. Interesting choice again. And then Thick Oxygen. All dice now cost at least 1 energy. This die, D4, that costs 1 energy. This die, Hollow, that costs 1 energy. The way we try to counter that is we have more energy. That's a good one, more energy. And then we also use these heavy dice. And that's why it's so important that we have Fake Dumbbell and that we have heavy on all of these things, because we're only going to get to play 5 dice. So we're going to have to pick 5 dice to play those. And the next turn, we're only going to get probably like 4 or 5. We'll see. But the point is, these dice need to stick on so I can play the next dice. That's a lot of talking. Let's get this set up. I think we'll do something like this probably. We'll get our ones out here, get our prism out here. So we have 1 mirror. Oh my goodness, that's what's happening. Okay, Intertwined Souls, right? Plus 181 for some reason. And that's turned into like way more up here. I don't even know why this has as much value as it does. By the time I get it on the board, oh, I know. Because of Tadpole Jar. Anyway, that's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna boost your attack die. It's really boosting my heal. So that's amazing. There's 5,000 there. There's 8,000 there. That's pretty good. That's not enough to kill them all, but that's pretty good. And all of these dice are going to be stuck on the board. Is there anything else is like... See, that adds some block, but that's not going to do very much block. It's going to stick with us, but it's not. That's a decent number of boost. It's just nothing compared to the workhorse that Tadpole Jar is. So let's do the mirror. I think this is probably the best decision there. It will be stuck, so we're gonna have to really like this spot. But let's try it. We're fine. We'll play this. Okay, 0 damage, 0 damage. They all do 0 damage. Cool. And this is my favorite part. This is all of those Crimson Blades just going for it. There we go. So there was a lot of damage right there. And then because of everything set up right now already, that just means, look at that. Oh, it has trouble when I place these things down. It has to mirror so many things. What am I doing? What is that? That's 1,000, right? So if I did not kill these enemies with the attack, which I've got plenty of room right now, I would be dead this turn. There we go. And then this part. Honestly, if I was doing this, I probably wouldn't have gotten so many. Like, the boosts are nice, but I probably would not have gotten so many Crimson Blades because it would drive me crazy. That is fun. We just need to scale our health. We need to scale our health. We need to get more block. That's really about it. Like, find a good way to get block here. Now this one's even better for us because there's no stupid honeybee like messing everything up. So let's go ahead and place again right here in the center. Let's place this one. Let's place that one here. This one here. Because the idea is that's gonna mirror. Oh no, it's in a different spot now. So now we have to like figure out the new optimal strategy. Oh wow. What you would need to do, this looks delicious. It looks like some kind of delicious candy, but you probably need to have this be like an attack block. Like, I didn't actually realize how big Intertwined Souls was. We're already at 378, right? This is fun. We did good. We don't need to think about, well, what if I was at floor 1000? Because that's going to be hours away from now, and no one's going to want to do that. But if you did, I didn't realize how big Intertwined Souls was. So now I'm thinking. I'm thinking about it. So let's place this here. Because this block, 1,000 block, it's just not going to cut it, right? You need a lot more. Oh yeah, 15,000. We're going to do this. So here, look at it, 15,000 in Lazarus Heart. Nothing's happening. It's all good. We're going through all of our Crimson Blades. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. But then turn 2. Look at that. That is cool. Goodness, that was a lot of damage. So yeah, now we can't, this is probably why we have as little max HP as we do, because we're taking damage at the end of the turn without block. Oh, we're going to a boss fight. This will be fun. Boss fight. Oh, it's a Queen Bee boss fight. Okay, what's our goal here? We have more honey dice. Oh my goodness, we have more honey dice. Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And then we have die for one more. I mean, that's going to kill everyone, but 8,000 isn't going to kill everyone. That's a pitiful amount of health. Option A is defend, right? Don't kill on turn 2. Let's try this. It's fine. All right, start of the next turn. Don't kill everyone, but it's like close. Look at this thing, like it's getting blocked. Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Yeah, there's the attack that we're doing, so we'll be good again. You couldn't get away with that on like much higher of a floor, and we really do need to get. I love it, but at the same time, why did you do it? Thank you, by the way, for the blood, sweat, and tears, Bug Dealer, to like get to this point, because I respect it. It's fun, and it's fun to the right people too. But at the same time, I just did this. If I didn't have this file, there's no way I'd be doing it again.